All right, guys, what's going on? It's Dan, right? And I'm back, right? And today we're diving into Marvel's Original Sin number 1. If you caught Original Sin number 0, you know that issue set the table, right? It gave us that emotional space with Nova and Uatu. It really established who the Watcher is, why he does what he does, and the kind of loneliness that comes with watching everything but never interfering. But here, in issue number 1, Marvel drops us right into the thick of it. It's Watcher's, bang, Watcher's dead. His eyes are gone. And every hero on Earth is about to start asking, what the hell just happened? So the story kicks off with a pretty simple but brutal premise. Uatu the Watcher has been murdered. And, not just killed. This is like someone broke into his house on the moon, took his eyes, and left his body behind. They were like, hey, I'm going to take that. Thanks. Your eyeballs. Which, if you know anything about the Watcher, that's insane. This guy's basically a cosmic constant. Like, he's there at the birth of Galactus, at every major event in Marvel history. He's like the universe's security camera. And he's dead. When that camera gets shut off, you can bet things go down. Everyone starts freaking out. Now, this whole event, Original Sin, is Jason Aaron, the writer, his way of telling a murder mystery in the Marvel Universe. This is more like Marvel's True Detective. It's dark, grounded, and it's full of secrets. The issue opens in space. We've got the Watcher's home on the moon. It's silent, cold. It feels colder than it did in the last episode. I get it's on the moon. I don't know. The moon technically has an atmosphere, I guess. It shares our atmosphere or something. I don't remember. Science wasn't my thing. It was English. I'm a good writer. Other than that, I got nothing. But I know the moon is cold, right? This feels colder than it did in the previous issue. Like last issue, it was like, oh, it's the moon. It's cold. This is like, oh, like it's cold. Like cold. Right? And then we see it. Uatu's dead body. Floating, lay floating there. Because he's on the moon. He's got that eerie glow around him, and his eyes, they're just gone. Just right away, poop. We're not holding any punches. It's unsettling, right? And then we cut to Earth. We've got Captain America, Wolverine, Black Widow, and Nick Fury sitting in a diner. Was it diners that were a staple around everywhere, or is it delis, bodegas? I think delis are like a Northeast thing. I don't know. They're sitting in like a restaurant, all right? It's a greasy spoon. It's late at night, coffee mugs and all, like a 24-hour joint. It's a cool contrast, right? These larger-than-life heroes just chilling at a diner like regular people. But of course, they're not just hanging out. Fury's there with a call. There's been a murder on the moon. And I forget who said this at the time, but he's like, hey, we got to go solve this. And I don't remember if it was Cap or if it was Fury and what exactly he said, but he's like, yeah, I don't do that anymore or whatever. He's like, hey, there's a problem. I think it was Cap that said, hey, there's a problem and I need your help. And Fury's like, I don't do that no more. And he's like, the Watcher's been murdered. And he's like, I'm going to help with that. He gets everybody. He's like, let's move. Boom. Next thing we know, they're on their way to the moon. When the team arrives, it's brutal. The Watcher's home looks like it's been raided. High-tech weapons everywhere. Some shattered, some missing, and the body's just there lifeless. Nick Fury, the old school Nick Fury, not the younger one, not the Samuel L. Jackson one. We're still with white guy Nick Fury, not badass black guy Nick Fury, which I prefer because Samuel L. Jackson's cool. This guy's a fucking nerd, right? Anyway, he immediately goes into detective mode. You can tell this isn't some alien attack. Whoever did this knew what they were doing. They wanted something very specific. And when they realize the eyes are gone, everyone just kind of stops. Like, who the hell steals eyes? But if you know Marvel lore, those eyes aren't just eyes. They're basically storage devices for everything the Watcher's ever seen. Every secret, every hidden truth in the universe. And whoever took them, they now hold the most powerful knowledge in existence. Now, here's where the issue gets really fun, right? Fury splits up the heroes into different investigation teams. We get what you might call Team A, the main Avengers lineup. You know, you got Cap, Iron Man, Thor, the big names. Their job is to handle the public and the press, keep everything quiet, make sure this doesn't blow up into a galactic panic. But then there's Team B. That one's interesting because you got Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Punisher, Emma Frost, Ant-Man, Gamora, and the Winter Soldier. And Moon Knight. I didn't list Moon Knight, but Moon Knight's in there. It's a weird crew, but Fury's a smart man. He knows that if this mystery's got hidden layers, these are the people you want digging. These people who don't always, play by the rules. You've got Strange for the magical side, Panther for the intellect and the tech, Punisher and Winter Soldier for the dirtier work, and some in-betweeners, right? It's like Fury's assembling a hit squad of specialists for every corner of the Marvel Universe. And speaking of Fury, this whole issue really centers him in a way we hadn't seen in a while. At this point in Marvel continuity, Fury's not director of S.H.I.E.L.D. anymore. He's older, he's more grizzled, operating kind of in the shadows. But this whole thing reignites that spy side of him. The guy who's seen every secret, knows how to keep them buried, right? Jason Aaron really plays with that parallel. Fury as the Watcher of Earth. He's the man who's been guarding the planet for decades without the world even realizing how deep he's gone to protect it. That parallel is going to pay off big time later. But here, it's just kind of hinted at. You get this feeling that Fury knows more than he's letting on. But meanwhile, across the issue, we're introduced to one of the strangest villains in Marvel, right? He's called the Orb. Now, if you've never heard of this guy, you're not alone. He's basically a man with a giant eyeball for a head, like literally. It sounds goofy, but in this event, he's creepy as hell. We find out he and some mercenaries were hired to steal something from the Watcher, and now he's holding one of those missing eyes. But here's the twist. The Orb claims he didn't kill the Watcher, which begs the question, who did? Because if the guy with an eyeball for a face didn't do it, then someone even darker is out there pulling the strings, right? And that's where I'm kind of like, all right, why would they involve this guy? Because he's clearly a red herring. If the eyes were stolen, this guy's an eyeball, eyeball steals eyes. As the issue unfolds, though, we start to realize that Original Sin isn't just about a murder. It's about what those stolen eyes represent, right? Imagine having access to every secret in the Marvel Universe. Tony Stark's failures, Reed Richards' hidden experiments, Spider-Man's guilt, Thor's unworthiness. Everything. That's the real weapon here. The Watcher didn't just see events, he saw the truth. And that's the genius of the story. The murder mystery is the hook, but the fallout, that's where the meat is. Because those secrets are going to start surfacing. And when they do, relationships, teams, and entire legacies will get torn apart. Now, I got to give props to Mike Deodato's art here. First off, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Second off, if that's right, that's a fun last name to say. Mike Deodato. Deodato. Anyway, right, the tone of his art is dark, heavy on shadows and close-ups. You can feel that like noir energy, but not. It's like, it's close, right? That sense that everything's being watched even when the Watcher's gone. Every page just oozes tension. The moon scenes feel cold and distant, while the Earth scenes feel claustrophobic, like everyone's keeping something hidden. It's one of those books where you could read it twice and still catch new details in the background. And Jason, oh man, he writes like someone who's been wanting to tell this story for years, right? It's tight, it's mysterious, but it still feels fun. You can tell he's pulling inspiration from detective story. Old school Fury, spy tropes, secret wars, all of it kind of mashed together. By the end of the issue, right, the tension is sky high. You've got these different factions moving simultaneously. Fury coordinating the big picture, Panther's Black Ops team investigating leads, and the Orb lurking in the background. We start hearing whispers, though, like the energy readings on the moon don't match any known weapon. There's evidence of multiple attackers. And those missing eyes, they're doing something. Like whoever has them might be using them to uncover buried truths across the universe. And you can just feel that all hell's about to break loose. So that's Original Sin number 1. And it's honestly a killer start. It's moody, it's different, and it hits hard because it's not about who can punch the hardest. It's about who knows what. That's the real weapon here, information. And I love that Jason Aaron leans into that paranoia. Every character looks over their shoulder. Every conversation feels loaded. And we're only one issue in. You know this mystery is going to spiral fast. Heroes turning on each other, secrets exposed, maybe even betrayals that have even been decades in the making. This book, it basically says, yeah, you think you know your heroes? Wait till you find out what they've been doing, what they've been hiding. So yeah, guys, that wraps up Original Sin number 1. If you haven't already, definitely check out issue number 0, issue 0. First, for that emotional buildup with Nova and the Watcher, it makes this hit even harder. Next up, we'll get into Original Sin number 2, and we're going to find out what those missing eyes start revealing. The truths that no one's ready to see, and when things start getting wild. But if you enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to hit that like button, drop a comment below, tell me which Marvel hero you think's hiding the darkest secret, and of course, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for hanging out, and I will catch you in the next video.
No, Jason, we can't have spaghetti for dinner. We have no noodles.
But Mom, I want spaghetti.
You can't have spaghetti, Jason.